and welcome back to the channel. It's LATV baby. Y'all know the vision. So this week, as you can see, I'm in my kitchen, and that's because I'm completing the part 2 of our single series where we're cooking. So if you didn't watch last week's video, Lou taught you guys how to make funnel cake at home. So if you didn't watch that, go check it out right now. But this week is my turn, and I'm going to be making deep fried Oreos. So as you can tell, our theme was kind of like festival fair food, and deep fried Oreos are my absolute favorite. So we're gonna be doing that today. This recipe, you're not gonna need a deep fryer or anything like that. I'm making everything from scratch except the Oreos. So yeah, enjoy the ride. Let's get into it. So I got all my ingredients with me right now. For this recipe, you are going to need 4 cups of flour, 2 tablespoons of baking soda, 3 tablespoons of baking powder, 1 tablespoon of salt, 3 tablespoons of sugar, 2/3 cup of milk, 1 egg, 2 teaspoons of veggie oil, and then Oreos. You can substitute all the dry ingredients with pancake mix or regular pancake mix, but I'm making my own mix. So everything's from scratch. The very first thing you're gonna wanna do is take your Oreos, how many you want. I did about 6, so I could split it with my sisters. You're gonna put all your Oreos in the freezer, and you're gonna wanna put them in there for about an hour before you actually fry your Oreos. So make sure you time it properly, so when you prep it, you won't have to wait as long. So right now, I'm gonna be mixing all my dry ingredients together to make the actual batter mix. If you're gonna use pancake mix, you can just skip to the next step if you want. But if not, let's get started. So we're gonna be starting with our flour. We're gonna need 4 cups. So I'm just gonna scoop it. And then we're gonna go and put in our 3 tablespoons of baking powder. We're gonna use 2 teaspoons of baking soda. We're gonna use 1 tablespoon of salt. And now we're gonna use 3 tablespoons of sugar. Now that we put all the dry ingredients together, we're just gonna mix it up so it's like an actual mix. Since we're done with the mix now, we're gonna add in all the wet ingredients to make the actual batter. Before we cook the actual Oreos, you're gonna wanna put at least 2 to 3 inches of your vegetable oil in a pot on the stove so it can boil while we coat the Oreos, okay? So do that. Just make sure to check on your oil and see how it's doing. Make sure it's not getting too hot. Okay, so now we're gonna add our wet ingredients, which is the milk, the eggs, and then the vegetable oil. I wasn't filming, me crack the egg! Batter should look a little something like this. It's not too thick, but it's kind of like a pancake batter with that type of consistency. And make sure there's no chunks or bubbles in it. My timer just went off. That means my Oreos have been in the freezer for about an hour. So I'm gonna take them out, and then I'm gonna get started prepping the Oreos to get dipped in this batter. And then we're gonna put them on the stove. Okay, so now that we got the Oreos out, we're gonna wanna take one. We're gonna do this one at a time so it doesn't get too messy. We're gonna dip one Oreo fully into the batter, and you're gonna make sure that the whole thing is coated. You're not leaving any dark cookie spots on it. And then we're gonna drop it into the hot oil so it gets golden brown on each side. Then we're gonna take them out. It's gonna be like multitasking. We're gonna dip it, coat it, put it in the oil. Dip it, coat it, put it in the oil. Okay. I'm gonna be honest, coating the Oreos was a lot harder than I expected. It gets really messy, and it was hard to find a good technique that would work for me to get the whole Oreo covered. Originally, I was holding it like that, holding the tops of the cookie, but I found that it was really, really hard, so I ended up holding the sides of the cookie, like the thin rim, which was a lot easier in getting the whole Oreo coated. But it's honestly just about finding a technique that works for you, that helps you coat the Oreos as best as you can. So the oil was a little bit too hot because as soon as I put it in, it like immediately turned like brown and it got like really like fluffy. So I turned the oil down a little bit. It's on like medium heat. Okay, so I just finished the deep fried Oreos. Here are all of them complete. Yes, 2 of them are slightly burnt. The stove was hot. It's fine, they're still good, they're still good. So the last and final step that you can do, it's totally optional, is putting on confectioner sugar to top off the deep fried Oreos. So that's what I'm gonna be doing now. You don't need a lot, I'm just gonna sprinkle a little bit on the top. These are the finished deep fried Oreos. They look so good. I did a really good job, I'm not even gonna lie. These are so good. 10 out of 10, I must say. Deep fried Oreos at home were a success. Okay guys, so this wraps up week 2, part 2 of the single series, Cooking with LATV. I hope you guys enjoyed this video making deep fried Oreos. If you do end up making them, if you liked them, didn't, went wrong, whatever happened, let me know in the comments and maybe I can help you guys. Thank you so much for watching. Make sure to give us a big like, comment, and subscribe. Turn on that post notification bell for any future updates about content on our channel. And now you can follow us on Instagram too at Lou and Abby TV, where you can get behind the scenes footage of what goes on to making our channel, producing content for you guys. Just know what's happening, get into the know with your favorite crew. This was Lou and Abby, or just Abby, coming at ya, period.